This is Are We Having Fun?
Da 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 da.
So this is our first episode. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Steph.
And we are two former college roommates and also best friends. Just coping with life the only way we know how, which is having fun. One trip and a cocktail at the time. So, Stephanie, tell me, what are you sipping?
I'm sipping on a wild rice brown ale from a local brewery here, Voyageurs Brewing up in Minnesota.
Oh my
Shout
God,
out.
yum. Okay, I'm drinking a Devil's Kettle, also from Voyager. So we actually found these beers as we were traveling up the North Shore, basically going to Canada, but you know, it's a little tough to cross the border right now. We went hiking in Devil's Kettle Falls, Minnesota. Stephanie flew all the way up here to reenact Jennifer's body with me. We actually sliced her up. And I'm just kidding.
We dropped some ping pong balls down.
I'm just kidding. But Stephanie actually traveled all the way up here to Minnesota to see me. I mean, if that's not a friend, I don't know what is. I don't have any other friends. So that's all I know about friendship.
And there's a reason my voice sounds like it does. We've been nonstop drinking for 3 days.
Oh, you mean beautiful?
Oh, thank you.
That's the trick to life, I guess.
What a best friend.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about what we did this weekend, starting with Devil's Kettle, because I think I was a little obsessed to go there, and you had no idea where we were going. I literally drove her
middle of nowhere.
I drove her up the coast. There was nothing around, just a bunch of trees for 2.5 hours. We drove, and this isn't the first time that I have stolen Stephanie away. I don't know why she's friends with me. I could have been a serial killer. But
well, shit. Maybe I shouldn't. All right, this is the first and only time I'm going to a waterfall with you.
But yeah, she had never seen Jennifer's Body, but I'm obsessed with that movie. It's like a cult classic. I don't know if that's what they call it, but whatever. And it takes place here in Minnesota, and I think it's really cool to explore while I'm here. I'm living here for a year. So we went to this famous landmark in my mind, and it is really freaking cool up there. We hiked for about 1.5 miles. It was not too bad.
3 miles round trip.
3 miles round trip, just a quick 3. And we were climbing all over we were climbing all over the rocks like a bunch of freaking monkeys.
We will post some pictures on our Instagram, so make sure to check that out at Are We Having Fun Pod.
We kind of got so excited we just jumped into it, but if you could also subscribe to our podcast and leave a review, please, that'll keep us having an adventure with you, sharing some drinks, sharing some trips. That would really make us happy so we can keep making this content for you guys, because honestly, first episode already a blast. So anyway, we're hiking around. We're climbing these rocks like monkeys. Stephanie turns around. She sees my bag sitting on a rock with my water bottle, with my jacket. She's like, what the? Kayla, where are you? Kayla. And she turns around, and I've scaled 30 feet in the air. I'm just kidding. This is really dramatic.
Super dramatic. Let's go ahead and...
No, I'm not cutting that part out. So anyway, no, she wasn't doing that.
So basically, I took the low road, right? So I'm hopping on some river rocks, just doing my thing. I like to get out there.
She's wearing her
I'm
Tevas.
wearing my Tevas, which if you don't know
good.
what those are the best hiking shoes possible. They're made for water.
We're not sponsored,
but I'm just a fan.
But Tevas, if you know.
Yeah, hashtag Tevas. So I'm on these rocks. I look around. Kayla is on the side of a mountain with like dirt on her ass. Like,
and I mean, I got into photographer mode. I bought a camera like right before we went hiking, and I really wanted to get a good shot of these waterfalls. So Devil's Kettle is a twin set of falls. One of them doesn't seem too long. I don't know how many feet.
It's maybe like 15 feet at most.
Yeah, it just kind of bounces off the rocks.
I could totally slide off that.
Totally. Might hurt the buttocks a little bit, but anyway, there's another fall right next to it, and it drops into a hole, and legend has it, we have no idea where the water goes. So a long time ago, there was an experiment done. I
watch the movie. Watch Jennifer's Body.
Or just look it up on Google. But they
YouTube.
dropped these ping pong balls in, and they never found where it came out, because usually a waterfall has an outlet. So anyway, that was like a really fun fact. But it gets creepier. So after she screams my name off of the cliff and it's echoing,
dramatic,
all these people come over and they start crowding us in the middle of this river. So we're like surrounded by people and rocks, and I honestly thought we were in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. They were coming after us. We had no way to get out. I'm just kidding. So anyway, all the people that were behind us on this hike finally caught up. I found out they were all in a group together, like 10 people, and we're just two girls in the woods. We were like having a grand old time being by ourselves and like just exploring this beautiful landscape. Yeah. And not only did they come over and like start hopping all over the rocks.
They hopped on my rock.
They hopped on her rock.
Just picture a river, okay, with a bunch of river rocks, like hundreds.
Like beautiful.
I'm straddling a rock. And this guy comes in with his iPhone and literally like hops on the rock I'm sitting on to like keep on moving. I'm like, dude, take a look around. There's 50 other rocks you could fucking stand on, and you have to hop on this one.
So moral of the story is there's no social distancing.
I just hate
state
people.
parks.
I think that's really the moral of the story. Like, don't come at me when I'm trying to take in all this nature and then you hop on my rock. It's just not a thing.
Stephanie is tense. She works a 9 to 5, and then she's a bartender at night. Thank you for providing these cocktail recipes that we are excited to share in future episodes, Stephanie.
Yeah, every week, new recipe coming at you. Get ready.
You know what? For someone who does like work around a lot of people, you're pretty antisocial.
I think that's why it made me that way. I'm done dealing with people.
Her soul is hardened, okay? We're just trying to enjoy ourselves.
I just want to get drunk in the woods. Is that too much to ask?
Goddamn middle of the woods. So what we did after that is we hiked for another half a mile up the creek. We're like, fuck the waterfall.
Keep in mind, this is bear country, okay? So every 2 steps, I hear a crackle or like, I don't even know if that's a word. I hear something in the woods, and I'm like darting my head around like we're about to freaking come in contact.
Yeah, she's like
with a mama bear.
She's like leading me, and she was like, I'm half expecting to see a bear, and I was like, dude, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to manifest it, but I'm listening
it would be really cool.
I'm listening for a
yeah.
Well, not that sound.
Or like that's the ground shake or something.
Something. Or like a baby bear, because you know if there's a baby bear, you're fucked, because there's a mama bear somewhere. But we're from Florida, so we have alligators and stuff. We're like excited to see snakes. But
it's
anyway,
another Tuesday at that point.
Yeah. So, you know, the only scary thing we saw are about 100 fucking crows. They wouldn't leave us alone.
There is like an abnormal amount of crows up here. I don't know, or raven. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Dark blackbird.
So basically, I just moved to Minnesota in April, and Stephanie's sister spent some time up here. So it didn't actually sound out of the blue to be up here, but we're from Florida, so it's a lot different.
Well, I guess we should take it back, right? So we flew into Minneapolis. Let's just take you back to this weekend.
Okay.
A quick overview.
Okay. Let's go back. Close your eyes, everyone.
So
inhale.
We flew in. I flew in on Friday. Flew into Minneapolis, which, you know, is the epicenter, if you will, of Minnesota. So we stayed at one of my hotels over there. It's a Lowe's hotel.
Oh my gosh, that was so nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. Stayed there, went out that night. Pop punk is kind of my thing. Found a bar that happened to play it.
We hyped ourselves up to this episode to 10 Avril Lavigne songs.
Dude.
Like, not 1, 10.
Played, you know, all the classic pop punk songs. It was sick. We went to a couple bars, hung out. Nobody in Minneapolis, by the way, has mezcal, if anybody wants to know.
Yeah, if you're a bougie ass traveling bitch,
it's
then don't go to Minneapolis. I'm just kidding. We probably went to like the lowest end of bars. That's what it was.
So the way that this night ended, we went to the bars, came home to the hotel, passed out in robes. Okay, I didn't even have time to take out my contacts, put on pajamas. I literally woke up the next morning in the Lowe's hotel robe.
Okay, let me justify this though, because we are not in college anymore, right? So we care a little bit. we may have not showered for the last couple of days. No, I'm kidding.
What?
No, we cared. So we got back to the hotel, and the first thing we wanted to do was get clean because it was so grimy. We were so sweaty. We had such a long day. We went all over Minneapolis before we even went out. And I was like, we need a shower. And then Stephanie's like, I found robes. Of course, we want to be bougie ass bitches, right?
They were comfy. It was like fleece.
Yeah, they were I wanted to steal one, honestly, but that goes on you. So
yeah,
I didn't.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So anyway, we get in these robes. We're feeling good. And I'm like, let's make that mac and cheese that we bought at Target earlier. Because I had this grand plan. Okay. I had this grand plan that we would use the Keurig machine, heat up some water, and make some mac and cheese.
Keep in mind, there is no stove, no microwave,
no
none
kitchenette,
of this in the hotel. What we had,
no bowl.
What we had was a Keurig that makes hot water and an ice bucket. Okay, so picture this. We pour the noodles into the ice bucket. Kaehla heats up like 3 cups of hot water in the Keurig. We pour that shit in there.
Actually, 3 was too many because it started coming out the bottom of the machine.
It's just a mess. It's a hot mess. We pour the powdered cheese shit in there.
I said, my girl's drunk. Let's make some mac and cheese. We got to take care of our bodies. Get some food in our bellies.
It was not hot enough. So then we proceed to, put hot water in the sink, take this ice bucket, put it in the sink. Now it has like a cauldron type aspect to it. As you can imagine, did not work out. I took one look at that and I was like, absolutely not. We're not eeting that. And
I took a look.
You proceeded to eat it. You ate like 3 bites.
I said, I need food or I'm going to throw up. So I chose to take the high road again, as I do. And I took one for the team, and I ate a couple bites of that.
It was disgusting.
Delicious.
It was so gross.
Kraft unicorn mac and cheese.
Disgusting.
That we proceeded to buy.
So basically, that was our college night of this vacation. That was the most.
Yeah, we are obviously. If anybody in college is listening to this, please pray for us because we are trying to hold it together, and we're trying to be good role models, show you a fun time, but like also that we can find balance and grow up. But
life's all about balance, so
you know what,
you have to have one too many tequilas to really know what a good night is.
Tell us how we're doing with this night. Send us a DM on Instagram because we need to know, are we killing it or are we killing it? I'm just kidding. We were not killing it because you know why? We had a pizza place literally around the corner and we just refused to go down there. Once we hit the robes, there was no turning back.
So that was Friday. Come Saturday, we are hungover, okay? We go to brunch, this nice little French place. Was really good. And then from there, I'm just dead. Like, my voice is, like, croaking, going in and out. So is Kayla's. Kayla can't hang anymore, so she's, like, completely off the wall. So we end up driving to where Kayla lives, which is in Duluth. That's about 2.5 hours away. We drive up to Duluth, and we just, like, chill the rest of the day. Like, dude, we literally got to her house at maybe 3 p.m., threw on pajamas, and just sat at home the rest of the day. We needed to recover.
Yeah. I don't know how people do it. How do they rally for how did we do it? We used to go on cruises where we would legitimately drink the max that our drink package would allow.
15 drinks.
For 5 days in a row.
But unfazed. Like, wake up and do it all over again. Like, no hangover, nothing.
Like, this girl, Stephanie, would die. I'm pretty sure she died. And we would slap her back to life, and she'd be, like, at dinner 20 minutes later. Just give her a little...
Maybe we'll release that video in the future.
Give her a little slap. Give her a little shower.
If you guys want that.
She's good to go. No, it's not. It's definitely not like that for me anymore. And I feel really old. But you know what? It's fine. I know my limits.
Yeah, it means we're getting up there. We're 26 now, so yeah, I think we're doing well.
Yeah.
And then, so that was Saturday. Come Sunday, that's when we did Devil's Kettle. Amazing time. And then how did we end that night, Kaehla? Where did we go at sunset?
Oh my God, we had a beautiful sunset on Lake Superior. It was the most divine, magical moment in our lives. We jumped into that 60-degree
and by that,
water.
she means we blew up a Fun Boy float, which is, if you don't know what that is, look that up.
We're not sponsored.
But a Fun Boy jet float, put it on our heads like we're carrying a bucket of water or something, and walked 6 blocks through downtown Duluth to the lake. We had people look like they know these bitches are not from Minnesota. We're clearly like Florida people.
Insane.
We have
Florida
this
people
float on our heads walking through downtown Duluth. People are stopping us like, oh, that looks so fun.
And we're like, yeah, it's fun
like
smacking the wings
outside.
into street signs.
Yeah.
On the way down the sidewalk.
So we get to the lake or the beach, I guess. Keep in mind, this is not a Florida beach. There are like rocks everywhere. Like, it's not what you think.
Excuse us, we say up here. I don't think they say that actually, but excuse me, bitch.
And we get to this lake. The water is 60 degrees, dude. It is freezing.
And we decide.
And everybody's like, there's like families with sweaters just hanging around, like throwing rocks into the lake. And we just like throw that thing in the water and strip down to our bathing suits. And we're there.
We decide, let's take some fucking photos. We wanted good promo materials to start off this podcast. And whoa, what was that podcast? We wanted some solid photos to start this podcast. So we did a good job. We got in that lake. We actually enjoyed ourselves. At first, it was about the pictures. And then, actually, I think a little bit of adrenaline kicked in for me. Because we saw these teenage boys. And I could hear them, like, their voice was squeaking, like, ah. And they were jumping off this, like, you know how people jump off bridges for fun into the water?
It was kind of like that. It was like this thing sticking out of the water that you could jump off of.
And, you know, it was just kids being crazy kids.
And naturally, we're like, if they can do it, we can fucking do it.
Yeah. So I stood right up on that.
We took a couple pictures on the float, you know, didn't get wet. And then we just jumped off that shit. And
I stood up and I fell off because you adjusted yourself. And then, you know, it was a grand old time. And we actually were sober at this point. Right?
We took no. We took a shot of Jameson each and chased it with an Onda. Again, not sponsored. Shay Mitchell, though, we love you. And we weren't as cold as we could have been, I think.
Oh yeah,
because we had a little bit of alcohol.
So the trick to living in Minnesota. Oh, I like that.
Mizzou.
The trick to living in Minnesota is to take a shot of whiskey and chase it with some tequila. That's the only way. That's the only way.
That's the only way you're going to get warm.
So we actually, though, ended up having so much fun that instead of going home first, like normal people, and like getting ready for dinner and putting away our giant float, we dragged said float all the way to dinner. And
then we proceeded to sit outside in 68-degree
as
weather
we're
soaking wet
because the sun had already set by the time we got out of the water.
So we just are not making smart decisions at this point in the weekend.
So I don't know, do I sound like nasally Nelly? Is that a thing?
I definitely do. So
do I sound like a nasally bitch? There's
a reason my voice sounds like this, and it's this weekend.
I think it just sounds like that. So, moral of the story is you can have a good ass fucking time with just a little bit of liquid courage. We are not promoting unsafe drinking habits.
Yeah, definitely be safe. We walked everywhere.
Be safe.
No driving.
Don't get to the point. It's not cute if you're like getting over drunk. It's just not cute. It's not cute anymore.
It's balance, you know?
You know, our friends are still having a good old time. But we remember being like that. We can't hang like that anymore. We advocate more responsible drinking behaviors, but still having a good time. Come on. Okay, so now, Stephanie, obviously you're up here. You work a shit ton. Tell me why this is not the first trip you've taken this year, and this is not the last. Tell me why. Tell me why you're even here. Like, tell me how you're even able to do this.
Okay, so Well, first of all, I do work 2 jobs, so that gives me a little bit of financial freedom, obviously. But basically, I work these 2 jobs. So many of my friends are like, why are you doing this? Why are you killing yourself? Why do you work as much as you do? I do it because I have priorities. You know what I'm saying? So to some people, that might be buying like a Gucci bag. And if that's your thing, more power to you. For me, it's having experiences and traveling. That's what I love to do. That's what brings me happiness. So that's what I prioritize. So I work these 2 jobs, which allows me to have the financial freedom to do these things.
I love that. I think that's how we kind of bonded. I honestly don't know how we got through college, but we were traveling all the time together, and it was like the best time of our lives. We had this stupid saying. It's not stupid. I'm sorry. It's not stupid. It's an actual campaign that's going on with a really lovely brand that we love. So it's not stupid. But we used to say endless summer. Like, it was like I would work in New York in the summertime in college, and I would come back, and Stephanie was like, yes, let's keep this thing going. Endless summer. Like, we were so basic. It was, I mean, not that we're any different now, but but there was definitely something there. But we just rode that high, but we just didn't know how to do it properly. We had no structure, no balance besides school, and it was just,
we kind of just took what life came at us,
Yeah.
Like we didn't really plan out our trips. We were kind of like, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, let's just ride.
It was like we were going, working, school. Like, we were like, let's just take the trip. Life gets stressful. Take a trip. It's
which basically the whole point of this is to say, if you have a priority and you want to do something, you will make it happen.
Yeah.
Don't let people say, oh, I can't do that because I don't have money. That's all
Exactly.
BS.
Exactly.
You make time, you make money for things you want to do.
Yeah.
So if traveling is your thing, you will be able to work it out. If you want to buy, crazy clothes and stuff, that's what you want to do, you will make the time and the money for that. It's
exactly. If you want crazy clothes and traveling, expect to
you
be
can get a sugar
broke.
daddy. No.
Yeah. pretty much working on that. I'm just kidding.
Just live life, guys.
Just live your fucking life.
All right. Well, Kaehla, now I'm going to direct a question your way. So you, I feel like, are always going somewhere. You're either in California, you're in New York, you're in Minnesota, you're in Orlando. So why do you do these things? First of all, where do you go? What are you working towards? What makes you have this jet style lifestyle?
So I feel like it's similar to you in the sense that you work for travel. I travel for work. That's my priority. So when I got out of college, I wanted to travel a lot. I just hadn't had that chance until towards the end of college, and I didn't want it to end. And I got into modeling, and I wanted to use that opportunity to go wherever. Like, in my head, I was like, international superstar. But obviously, it's more of a working model situation. It's not like a superstar at all. It's a lot of work. So I just kind of kept that going, and I got these opportunities, and instead of being like, should I not? I was like, yes, like, this job is taking me to New York, I'm going. This job is taking me to Charlotte, I'm going. Like, I would just pick different places I hadn't been. I've driven across the country going from place to place.
One time with me.
One time with you.
We literally drove from Orlando to New York to drop her off for the summer.
I drove from California to New York by myself because I made the choice to continue to work in New York versus living in LA. I just like the freedom of choosing my schedule and being able to make the choice of, this weekend I want to go see my little brother play football. Or, some of those moments are really important to me, and I don't want to miss those moments in my family's lives, even going down to something like that.
You capitalize on that, basically. So
Yeah.
I work 2 jobs. I work hard so I can vacation, so to speak. You travel and use that as an opportunity to work. So if you fly back to Florida to see your little brother play, you can pick up a gig there. You can pick up a job there.
Exactly.
So it's almost like killing two birds with one stone. You can find these different routes to travel or to do whatever you want to do. And it's not always about spending money and being on vacation. You can make it into a work thing. Even.
Exactly. I feel comfortable when I'm on vacation, but I'm getting work done as well. And it's not easy, but I am in a position that I'm able to. And I think I've chosen a path where if it lines up with that, great, I go for it. If it doesn't line up with that, then I'm like, that's not for me. Like I've worked on that for 3 years now. So 4 years. Yeah, 3 years. 3.5. I can't do math anymore. So it really is about your priorities. Some people prioritize a stability and a typical job and a typical life in a white picket fence. And yeah, I like that kind of stuff too. And I'm sure you do in your own ways, but we don't have to go the same path as everybody else to get there.
Right. 100%.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a great question.
Thank you.
I liked that a lot.
Thank you.
I liked that.
All right, so now we are going to introduce a new segment we have called Free Spirits. Basically, we are going to have a couple questions that we have not discussed together. So we're going to answer the same questions and see what we learn about each other and see where we go from there.
Yes. So we have already enjoyed the hors d'oeuvres. We've already enjoyed dinner. Now is after work and we have no limitations. So with these questions, we are, like she said, we are not discussing them beforehand. However, we're going to ask the questions and then we're going to answer them all at once at the end. Question number 1.
So what is your ideal trip?
Ooh, that's going to be a fun one. Okay, what's question number 2?
What is your favorite liquor?
Ooh. Okay, question number 3.
What vacations do you have coming up?
Ooh. Okay, these are all really great questions. Now, for you guys, the listeners, we would love for you to ask us any fun random questions that you want to know.
Either about us or about your own life, things that we can kind of bounce off of. So either DM us or, reach out to us on our Insta at Are We Having Fun Pod. So let's go back to question number 1. What is your ideal trip? Kayla, you go first.
Okay, so my ideal trip is definitely somewhere lounging by the beach with a cocktail and a lot of food. So coming from Florida, the only way we could really go on vacation was to go more south, like towards the hemisphere. The equator. Oh my gosh, what? So we would have to go on cruises, and those are the best. You're sitting on the beach, people are serving you food, or you go up to a buffet, you're drinking some cocktails, you're hanging out with your friends. There might even be a water trampoline. I don't know. It's super fun in those settings to me. Just being by the water, in the sun, being drunk, eating some chicken tenders or tacos. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, Stephanie, what's your answer?
Okay, what's funny is mine is literally the exact opposite.
Oh my God. Drink more beer.
I think I need to. Just kidding. Okay, what's funny is that mine is literally the exact opposite of that. I wrote down my ideal trip is packed with things. Okay, so I'm the type of person, I actually heard a friend say this one time. He said, I like to go on vacation. I don't like to go on a trip. And I thought, well, that's the fucking same thing. But it's not when you think about it. A vacation, like you said, you're lounging, you're drinking, you're just kind of taking it slow. I like trips. I like packing in as much as I can possibly do in that country or in that place. So I basically am not the type of person who likes to sit at a resort because I can do that in Florida. Why would I travel to another country to do the same thing I can do here?
Hilarious. I'm thinking about this whole trip, and I mean, compliments to the chef here. I made her an itinerary that was 3 pages long.
Guys, it was laminated. She laminated this itinerary.
I just got really excited about this podcast idea. I put our logo on it and everything. Like, I made her an itinerary, and I packed her schedule, and she kept coming up with these ideas, and I'm like, Steph, read the itinerary.
Stick to the itinerary, bro.
I'm like, it's there.
But you know what? Now that I'm older, I mean, we're 26 now. We're closer to 30, Now that I'm older, I definitely enjoy kind of like the taking it easy aspect a little bit more, but I'm still like, I'm not just going to sit around at a resort all day. Like if I'm in another country, I am there to be in that country.
I'm just tooting my own horn because I made sure that your schedule is so packed, and I think.
So you know me.
I think it's fair to say I right now am a little stressed from
Kaehla
like,
needs, she's like, I can't drink.
Button.
I need to sit down. I can't
like
do
how
it.
many times have I said that this weekend and you're like, drink, pussy, come on, let's get out of the house. And I'm like, I just need a moment, like just a 20-minute nap. Like
right. 20 minutes turns into an hour.
So that is hilarious that you said that. Totally fits the
funny,
two of us.
We didn't even like talk about that. That's like the opposite.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to question number 2.
All right, question number 2. What is your favorite liquor?
Okay, wait. Guess mine and I want to guess yours.
You are a toss-up between Jameson or tequila.
Oh, okay.
I feel like that's the only things you ever order.
You definitely...
Well, it's hard for you because I'm a bartender, so I drink everything.
But, I thought I didn't have any guesses for you, but definitely mezcal and Chambord.
Yeah.
Or elderflower liqueur or something
bougie.
Crazy.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Okay, what was your answer?
Mine, I literally wrote, I'm a bartender, so I drink everything, but mezcal and wine. So you were kind of on point.
Wait, you don't drink wine?
I do. No, I love wine.
Oh, I see it. But,
mezcal
and
wine.
Those are your favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. I was going to say, you don't drink mezcal either? Got it.
No, I asked for that this entire weekend.
I know.
Every bar we went to in Minneapolis,
everywhere.
I said, do you have mezcal? And people were looking at me like, what is that?
And then every single drink, I wish we had Chambord. And I'm like, Stephanie, you traumatized me with Chambord in college, and I'd never want to hear that word again. I'm just kidding. If it was in the right sense, we did not drink it properly at home.
No, we took shots. Not a good idea.
Okay, so I wrote in all caps, Jameson. I have
complimented by a barrel.
Yeah, I have an alter ego with Jameson, but tequila definitely also. What did I even say earlier in the podcast? I said Jameson chased by tequila.
That's literally
oh
you.
Gosh. That's hilarious. Okay, so question number 3.
Question 3. What vacations do you have coming up?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first because I feel like, well, maybe I should go first because I don't think I can top you with all your work travels.
Okay.
You have like
go
7
ahead.
coming up, I think. All right, so what are we? We are in the last day of August, so in a week.
I don't even know what year it is,
I don't
what
know,
day
bro.
it is.
What year is it? So in a week, I'm going to Yellowstone and Grand Tetons. I think that's how you pronounce that. Somebody let me know.
No, but seriously, you said you can't top me. Girl, you've already topped me with one vacation.
My bad. So I'm going to Yellowstone and Grand Tetons with my boyfriend. So we are actually renting a tiny house, which I've never stayed in before.
Wait, no way.
Super sick. Yeah. And like where the bed is in the house, there's a skylight where they say you can just like look at the stars because we're going to be in the middle of nowhere. So really stoked for that, to see like the Milky Way and all of that. And yeah, we're just going to do a bunch of hiking, basically just 5 days of being in the middle of nowhere, no service.
Okay, wait, Stephanie.
Super stoked.
Stephanie's working on the Instagram game. She's going to put her profile on public. Sorry, I was going to say private. She's going to put it bio. She's going to put it on public, and she's going to share some of these photos from Yellowstone. Also, we want to share some photos from our weekend, but please share some photos with everyone. That is so cute.
I will.
That is so
cute. Gonna
cute.
Get into the photography game, try and get
cool.
Hopefully
okay.
I see a moose.
So any other trips planned?
Yeah, so after that, so that's in September. In October, I have a music festival. It's a reggae music festival in St. Pete. So that's just kind of like a small little trip. We'll be there for the weekend. And then for my birthday, well, it's kind of like a tri-trip. So it's my birthday, my boyfriend's birthday, and his graduation present, all wrapped into one. We're going to Dominican Republic. So we'll be there in January with some of my other coworkers from my job.
So fun.
It'll be super sick. And again, I'm already planning it to be packed. We're going to be cliff jumping, going to waterfalls, whale watching, the whole 9 yards.
I have chills, and it's not just because of the AC. Is our friend from DR going there too?
No,
just coworkers.
No, just coworkers. Joe, actually. Shout out Joe.
Oh my gosh. That is so fun. So I kind of knew about her trips, but I also didn't know about the tiny house, and I didn't know about the reggae festival, and I am just screaming about your trip to DR because obviously I just said my ideal trip is like going to the Caribbean basically. And we've been to Puerto Rico together. So I already know how much fun you're going to make it. That is so fun. Okay.
Okay. What about you?
So my trips, Florida, and Florida. So for you to say that mine were going to be exciting.
Well, I guess I meant it in quantity. So she was telling me this whole weekend, she's like, yeah, I'm going to Cali this weekend, and then I'm going to Florida this weekend. I'm like, damn, you're like, are you even living in Duluth?
Definitely just put in the Florida trips here.
To visit me.
Yeah, to visit you, but also to go to a wedding, and then I'm going to some showers, and then I am going for Christmas, and then I'm going for another wedding. So very adult stuff.
We're in that time, man. Everybody's getting married and having babies, and we're here starting a podcast. So
yes, so
this
cheers,
is our own baby.
Oh my God, we just had a baby together. Gosh, a nice. Wait, how long is it? How long do you think this microphone is?
Let's not go there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and I also put Minneapolis for a week because let's be honest, driving 150 miles to Minneapolis is so much work. Like it's such it.
To do it for a day is just crazy.
Yeah, I've driven so many times from my family's house to LA, which is like sometimes 4 hours in traffic. Ugh. I've driven from my home in New York to New York City because I lived in Long Island, and it's like 2.5 to 3 hours.
So you're just used to it.
I'm used to it.
You're basically used to being on the road.
But the mileage, I'm used to the traffic making it that much time, but not the mileage. So it takes out a lot. And so we're going down there like multiple times. I have to take you to the airport today. Wait, we're still, like, oh my God, like
10 minutes.
Now. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm already like tired. But I'm going to be down there for some fun stuff. So it's going to be a wild blast. I need to be taking lots of pictures for that. I think we need to work on our video skills too, because we should do some like funny little things. Like, you know, we want to be hip with the cool kids or whatever they say nowadays. They don't say that.
Okay, we're not that old.
Okay, whatever.
But then next year, I definitely want to plan something together, whether that's, I mean, we don't know how the situation with COVID's hanging out, but whether that's Europe, whether that's something, you know, somewhere out, Hawaii. We've been talking about it. Our goal
for our new friends here on the podcast who are listening is for them to come with us either virtually or they could come in real life to some crazy fun trip.
We can have a meetup.
That would be so cute. We have a lot of work to do for a year, but I don't care if it's 5 friends. I don't care if it's 10 friends.
I don't care if it's you and me. We will make it work.
We will make it work. No one's listening to this.
Whoever's listening to this, you are invited.
You are officially invited, and we're going to make it happen.
Between my planning skills and Kayla's laminating skills, we are going to have the best itinerary for you guys.
Oh my gosh. I'm already excited. Okay, let's make that happen. Let's work really hard for that.
Oh, we will.
Okay. Well, this was an amazing first episode. We really do have to go to the airport now. This is insane. But I want to thank
you guys so much for tuning in. Every Wednesday, we'll be putting out a new episode with a new featured drink. So today was obviously just a local beer, but I will be making a new cocktail for you guys
next week. A local beer because it's so cool to get something you can't get anywhere else.
Right.
So just something fun and exciting to drink, and also something fun and exciting to talk about.
And we're going to have different topics every week, so come back and join the party with us, and we'll see you guys then.
Yes, and please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you listen.
Rate us 5 stars, whether that's Spotify or anywhere.
Or whatever the other ones are. I'm sorry. Those reviews mean a lot to us, and it helps us grow. It helps us continue making podcasts, so reviewing and subscribing means the world to us, and we can't wait to see you next week.
And follow us on Insta. Do we have a Twitter?
No. Okay, listen.
We don't tweet.
Instagram. I like social media a lot, but I can only focus on one thing because I have my own page, and then I have the podcast now. So right now it's the dynamic duo. So
2 girls, 2 mics.
2 girls, 2 mics, and a lot of drinks. So a lot of traveling, a lot of drinks. So thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
This is Are We Having Fun? Yeah.